And to all y'all who put this man Thrag on fraud watch after one episode, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. Y'all knew damn well a Viltrumite with a lineup as crisp as that was not going out that sorry. Come on, y'all. But now y'all put him on the fraud watch, so he had to show y'all this episode who he really was, and that he did. So obviously, if you couldn't tell in this video, I'll be talking about Invincible season 4, episode 7. This episode was insane. We got Thrag going off and showing us why he is the Grand Regent, why he is a demon emperor, and why nobody in the coalition right now is seeing him. With all that said, for anything I gotta say all in the video, I already know what y'all gotta do. Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, follow if you want on TikTok. Let's talk about it, man. So we started this episode off with a slight flashback to see how the Viltrumites dealt with the problem of another species, messing with the infrastructure of Viltrum. We have the current Emperor Argyle talking about some, they playing around too much. Let's wipe out 25% of their race. And we got Thetis, aka the betrayer, later on telling him, whoa, why do we always gotta resort to violence? Can we not maybe just respect their pride and try to see if we could let bygones be bygones? I'm sure we've told them in the past with the Viltrumite. Argyle said, yo, Thrag, what you think? Thrag like, I appreciate you, Emperor. Yeah, nah, I want to wipe out 25% of their race too. So that's what they go on to do, and Thetis just couldn't take it no more. So he slimes out Argyle. We literally see how he does it in this episode, but before he does this, Thrag actually has the opportunity to stop Thetis before this even goes down. Argyle Olaz telling him, listen, man, Thetis, he's just not with the movement. And Thrag even had these thoughts too after some war that they fought back in the day. He had respect for the brother though. He was like, I'm not gonna slime out one of my own. Just for bro to slime out one of his to become the betrayer, leaving Thrag in a very defeated state because he thought he made the right decision, but that decision ended up costing him the man that he has the utmost respect for. Now Thrag becomes the emperor until we find some descendants of Argyle, potentially, I don't know, I'll take the throne from him. And Thrag's first order of business is to root out the weakness of the Viltrumites as we go into this new phase of Viltrumitehood, which basically translates to a slew of Viltrumites banging out. It's really sad when you think about it. So sad that Thrag don't even participate in any of this bout. He literally goes to the throne room and sits on that throne with his head in his lap and just sleeps it off until everything outside kind of calms down, which goes to show that low-key he might not even all the way believe in the actions that he's making his people do. Leading into where we are in present day, this did no good for the Viltrumites at all. We have the ring of Viltrumite bodies surrounding the planet after Thetis mixed the Scourge virus, which he would have never done if the Viltrumites considered maybe changing their way. On one hand, I understand where Argyle and Thrag was coming from. You messing with us, we go mess with y'all, and we the big dogs of the galaxy, so you really tripping if you mess with us. We gotta set an example for sure. I get that, but look what that example led to. Maybe there was room we could have considered other options before getting to the point that we did is all I'm saying. The fact that Thrag was so willing to show Mark the mercy he did towards the end of this episode, everything that happened with Argyle, wasn't really surprising, let's be honest. Mark is the main character. If that was anybody else, they would have got slime. But also, it shows at the end of the day, Thrag has a soft spot for his people, with the exception of Oliver, who he doesn't consider one of them, and Thetis, whose head he could not wait to rip off. Okay, now in present day, we got everybody in the coalition preparing for what could be the last fight of their lives. We got Mark writing out messages to Eve. We got Oliver, Tech Jacket, etc., talking about what would be the last thing that they could eat if they could have their last meal right here and now. This Cat Battlebeast talking about some my blood after feasting on the bodies of my enemies or some stupid stuff like that. We gotta get that man checked. There's something not right with his head. We got Thetis giving his final pep talk before the coalition reached planet Viltrum. After flying through a sea of dead Viltrumites, they are face to face with Thrag. But Thrag is not alone. He and the other 40-some Viltrumites pop out from that sea of dead Viltrumites, and they get to jumping. I want to talk about some individual performances before I get to, the main spectacle of this episode. For starters, they are nerfing the hell out of my boy Unopin Allen. Bro was putting up way better numbers in the last season than he is this season. I don't know if it's because he's been heavy support for Tech Jacket throughout this season, but they gotta put some more respect on my boy name going into this next one, because it's ridiculous. Like, I don't even know if bro has taken out a single Viltrumite this whole season. He's been fighting Lucan the whole season. And Battle Beast the same. Like, Battle Beast, yeah, he's fighting, he's having fun out here, but I feel like Battle Beast should be putting up a little bit more numbers than he actually is in this fight. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping. Next we got Tech Jacket, who's essentially just farming for assists out here. She got this little bullet that she can shoot at the Viltrumites, and it's essentially a one-shot for anybody that hits them after the fact, which is cool. But if I'm a Viltrumite and I'm not able to take out Tech Jacket and that's all she's doing, I'm gonna feel some type of way. My pride is going to be. Space Racer was putting up points with that laser. He took out like 2 to 3 Viltrumites, did his thing, and he played a massive role in Omni-Man, Mark, and Thetis being able to take out Viltrum later on. So he for sure put up the most numbers of anybody in the coalition behind Mark and Omni-Man, obviously. And Thetis was kind of meh, not gonna lie. He wasn't hooping the same way he was hooping in episode 6. And as everybody's finding the other Viltrumites, Thrag is just standing in the same place. Omni-Man's sick and tired of seeing bro oral farming in the cut, so he tries to go punch him. Thrag takes a slight step back, barely even a step back, beats Omni-Man on his side and punches bro straight into Viltrum. This man met the pavement effortlessly. This is when we get a speech between Thrag and Omni-Man, with Thrag trying to talk Omni-Man down, talking about you're gonna side with the betrayer. He's the reason majority of people are out there flowing around this planet right now. We're family. You can't side with him. Omni-Man's like, no, you're not my family. My family's out there fighting against your family. Thrag's like, all right, that's fair. But what do you think they just go do to your sons? You think he's gonna let them run? Now, at this point, I thought Omni-Man was gonna say he's gonna have to come through me, but he don't say that. He's actually considering what Thrag is saying here, but then Omni-Man has to get back on his tail like, nah, I'm with the coalition. You guys have to get wiped out. Y'all are wilding. So Thrag's like, all right, I guess I got no choice. And it's at this point where Thrag begins to beat the allegation. Winded up his fist so hard before uppercutting Omni-Man. This man started airbending. I think I'm playing. Omni-Man started coming into his space when he did this. He hits Omni-Man with this uppercut. It sends him flying across space. This is a couple times in episode 2. Omni-Man battle beast with his jetpack. He does it to Mark, I believe, too. And then Oliver, this little boy Oliver, they told him do not match with Thrag one-on-one. So everybody in the coalition not to match with Thrag one-on-one. But of course, for some odd reason, this man Oliver has unwarranted confidence. You have not done anything to warrant the confidence that you had in this moment to pull up the Thrag the way you did. And then Thrag don't even have nothing respectful to say to you. He's just like, you're not one of us. Oh, Kendrick Lamar eviscerated him instantly, broke his fist. Oliver tries to run away, said, immediately cut the bottom half of bro's jaw, rendering him useless. He's done. My boy looking like this by the end of the episode. It's a miracle they was even able to secure this boy's body with everything that was going on in this episode. After Omni-Man and Mark see this, they try to slide for Oliver, but Thrag not going. He's handing out belt to ass to everybody. Omni-Man sees this, he's like, bro, we can't beat him by conventional means. You gotta make this shit personal. Space Racer gets to the front, we blowing up the planet. Space Racer shoots at Viltrum. Omni-Man, Thetis, and Mark fly into the beam. Go through Viltrum on one end, come out on the other, essentially destroying the planet, leaving the other Viltrumites shocked, bewildered even. They don't know what they gonna do. They thinking that they Grand Regent just died. The whole time the demon was just getting started. Thrag flies through the rubble, and to inspire hope in his Viltrumite brothers and sisters, immediately takes the head of the betrayer, replacing Argyle's skull that he just lost with another one the same day he lost the first skull. I have to say it like that because y'all really put this man on Fraud Watch for no reason. It was way too soon to do that. And after this, the beating that he gave to Omni-Man and Mark, oh my god. Mark, after trying to run away from Thrag, seeing that his hits are not doing anything, to ask his father how he gonna beat him, Omni-Man's just like, Before Thrag puts his whole arm through this man Omni-Man's torso, took a page out of Conquest, pulled the intestines out after doing this. Before this, he broke Omni-Man's wrist like it was nothing too, by the way. Mark, seeing both these things go down, obviously decides to run away. Like, I got something for your ass. Grabs Mark, headbutts him something crazy, knocking him out instantly, and tries to take his eyes out before realizing, I'm taking out one of my people. I'm tripping. You got it, gang. I'm gonna let you live to fight another day. That's that main character plot armor because he just boomed Viltrum. It's no reason to let this man live. After this, the Viltrumites disappear, and Alan and them are able to retrieve Mark, Oliver, and Omni-Man's body. Alan is now the man in charge after Thetis' passing. After a few weeks, Mark and Nolan wake up and they get the news that the Viltrumites have just disappeared, so they're wondering where did they go. So Mark puts 2 and 2 together and realizes, yo, they dead might have went to Earth. They got no other home to go to. And they see through Mark that humans and Viltrumites can get it on just fine. This would be the perfect way for the Viltrumites to get the population back going. Emperor Thrag is not gonna waste that, so I'm anticipating that they probably already hit Earth with the amount of time that Omni-Man and Mark have been out. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't think to check Earth in all the time that they didn't see the Viltrumite. Personally hope Cecil guess what's coming to him when they do make it to the planet. I also see some theories that maybe Thrag will hold even Mark's baby hostage or something like that. Try to mold it into the next Viltrumite leader. I don't know. I mean, Mark not going for that. But can Mark do anything against this demon is the question. We'll have to see. I'm looking forward to this journey back to Earth. The Viltrumites have already landed. For my sake, I want a very entertaining finale. This season has been all gas, no breaks, and I don't see that changing in the finale episode. Craziest thing about this whole episode is that Thrag left with his fit still intact. He didn't even get a tatter on his boy's fit. His hairline was still pristine throughout this whole fight. He casually knocked Omni-Man and Battle Beast out into orbit. Like, what are they doing against this man? After talking to Drew to this man, Thrag I don't want to smoke because it's nothing they could do with him. Give this episode a solid 9.5 out of 10. Thrag didn't disappoint. The battle between the Viltrumites and the Coalition did not disappoint. Or some nerfs for some characters that I didn't appreciate. Hopefully they make up for that in the finale episode. I'm willing to give them grace until we see that one.